Alright, hey guys, She Detector here. So in today's video, I wanted to do some, research. I wanted to do a couple of different things with the settings on the double score, and I also brought out a couple of items to test how far away from the coil the double score can pick up a couple of these different items. So let me show you what I've got out here today. For today's, testing, if you will, I brought out a couple of different things. So I brought out this battery because on one of my recent metal detecting hunts at a tot lot, I saw a battery on the ground, but the double score did not pick it up. So I brought out a battery because my intentions are to mess with the different settings and see what I need to adjust in order for the double score to pick up a battery. So I've got a battery out here, I've got a safety pin, I've got a necklace. So this is actually the necklace that He Detector found in our backyard out here. So I am not sure if the chain on this necklace is silver. I don't believe it is, and my reasoning is because this clasp right here, if it were silver, it would not be tarnished the way that it is. So I feel like the chain is probably stainless steel if I had to take a guess. But I brought this out because I wanted to see if the double score could pick up a thin chain. And I brought out a stainless steel fork. This is the fork that I found at Clearwater Beach. I brought out a Junker bracelet here. I'm not sure what the metal is, but again, it's tarnished, so it's definitely not silver. And then I also brought out two very thin necklaces, so very thin chains. So now this chain here, this is a 18-inch 10-karat gold chain. It is a very, very thin chain. And then I also have, this one is an 18-karat gold chain. Now this one is a little bit thicker, but it is still a very thin chain. Now this one does have a pendant on it, but I wanted to bring these out to see if the double score can pick them up, and if so, how far away from the coil can the item be in order for it to pick it up. So now I have another GoPro out here because my intention is to record the screen while I'm swinging the objects in front of the coil. And then I also have the manual out here so that I can adjust the settings so that I can pick up the battery. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'm gonna get set up and we can get to doing some metal detecting testing. All right guys, so I've got the double score set up. So I've turned it on and it is default in the last mode that I was in, which was park mode. So you can see right here, it's still in park mode. I've not messed with any of the other settings other than turning on the backlight for the screen. And to do that, you just open up your little menu down here, scroll over to the little sun, and I bumped it all the way up to 5 so that you guys could see it. So, and the volume, I believe it was on 4. I lowered that down to 3. So those are the only settings I have messed with. So we are good to go here. Now, the double score is being a little bit chattery. So you can see the numbers on the screen are moving around a little bit. There's nothing in front of it other than the ruler that I have set up to do our distance or our depth testing. So it is picking up some frequency, some chattering already on its own. I don't know, I'll try switching it over to beach mode. So even in beach mode, it's still being a little bit chattery. Now we're not near anything, there's no power lines near us, so I'm not entirely sure what it's picking up. All right, so I'm gonna put it back in park mode so we can go ahead and start doing some of our testing. All right, so for this test, I did pull in my coil a little bit, so my coil was extended so that this cable was straight out. I did squish it in a little bit just so that I could maybe try and see the screen myself. I don't know that I'm going to be able to though, so yeah. Again, I've got my ruler in front of the coil, so this is a 2-foot ruler. We've got starting at 1 inch over here going down, and then on the other side 1 inch down here going up. So we'll be able to use this to see how far away from the coil the double score can pick up the different targets. So I did take off my watch because obviously it would affect the testing that we're doing, so I did take off my watch. So I want to start off with the battery. So let me put these over here. So I wanted to start off with the battery because this is what's causing me to do this test to begin with. So I'm just going to swipe it in front of the coil. I think I'll start maybe at like 6 inches and see if it picks it up. Okay, so it's picking up this battery, no problem. Maybe if I get closer, let's try maybe like 2 inches. So it's picking up this battery too. So I don't know why that other battery wasn't getting picked up. So I'm in the same mode that I was in at the tot lot, and it's picking it up, no problem. So that is very strange why it did not pick it up. So now that we know that it picks it up, let's go ahead and do a depth test. The only thing I can think of, so I do not have that battery anymore, but maybe this battery is made with something different than that battery that was on the tot lot. I don't know. Let's go ahead and do a depth test. So I'm just going to, we know it picked it up at 6. Let's drop it down to 10. So it is picking it up still at 10. Let's try 12. So it's hearing it. It's not very strong, not very consistent. 11, I'll give it 11. So I would say the double score can pick up this. This is a generic battery that we bought from Amazon. So the double score can pick up this generic AA battery about 11 inches. I'm confident saying 11 inches. Yeah. All right, so there's that. So now I'm going to check out this safety pin. So this is a larger safety pin. This is a 2-inch safety pin, so it's 2 inches long. So let's see if it picks it up in general. So I'm going to be holding it like this. So it's nice and big target for it to pick up as opposed to like this. So we'll hold it like this. Ooh. So if I slow down, yeah, let's see if, so even going fast, it's picking it up. Now I'm only about maybe 2 inches away. So it's a little spotty. I mean, it's a very thin target, so it's a little spotty. So let's try seeing what our depth is. So we'll try at 4 inches. Okay, pretty consistent. Let's try 6. Yep, 8. So 8, it's definitely faint. Yeah, let's try 10. I'm not super confident. Yeah. So 10, you're definitely getting a minute threshold at 10 inches. So for sure still picking it up at 8. So I would give it between 8 and 10 inches to pick up a 2-inch safety pin. So all right, so that's a safety pin. So let's try our stainless steel fork. So now obviously this is a much larger target. This by itself is 7 inches long, 1 inch wide. So it's a very decent sized target. So let's go ahead and start at 6 inches. So I'm going to try holding it like this, or maybe like this. We'll try like this at, what did I say? 8 inches, 6 inches, let's try 6. Whoa, what is that? So there is nothing at 6 inches. All right, so we've got, hi big girl. So 2 inches, it's not being very consistent. Maybe it's like an overload situation. So let's try bumping it out to 8. All right, so 8 inches, we have a consistent tone. 10, Still consistent tone, but much softer. And 12. 12 is pretty spotty. Yeah, that is very strange. So, and I can't see what the screen is doing on why it's not making a consistent sound each time. So that is curious. All right, so that leaves our junker bracelet. Again, unsure of the metal. Let's just give it a try at 4 inches. We'll hold it like this. All right, so it picks that up. Okay, let's try 6, 8, and 10. So it's definitely, I would say 8 pretty consistently. Girls, 8 pretty consistently. 10 is, so the sounds it's making at 10 is not necessarily sounds that I would dig a target at. It's not very strong, so that would lead me to believe it's either a small target or a deep target. And again, I don't know what this metal is, so yeah. All right, so those are kind of our junker items. And I didn't end up having to adjust any of the settings to pick up this battery on the double score. So that's very, very curious. That's very interesting. It was a Rayovac battery that the double score did not pick up at the tot lot. Now this is a AAA. The battery that I found was a AA. Hopefully the size difference won't be an issue, but yeah, let's go ahead and see if the double score can pick up this Rayovac battery. So I'm gonna start at 4 inches and see what we see or hear. All right, so nothing. Nothing at 4 inches. Let me get closer. 1 inch, nothing. Let's try farther away. All right, 6 inches, nothing. 8 inches, nothing. So it's not a matter of distance to the coil. It's something about the battery. So I'm going to mess with the settings, but I want to check our chains first before I start tinkering with the settings. So we'll put our battery over here and we'll check out our chains. So now this chain is an unknown metal, and it does have a pendant on it, and it does have a clasp and some thicker chain on the bottom. So I'm going to hold the pendant above the coil. Actually, you know what? I'll just take it off altogether. We'll take it off altogether, and we will just swing the chain in front of the coil at 4 inches and see if it picks it up. So nothing at 4 inches. Let's try closer. 2 inches. Nothing. 6. Nothing. Nothing. So let's try bunching it up, and we'll try swinging the bunch in front of the coil. We'll start at 4 inches. Nope. 2. Nope. 6. Wow, nothing. So again, no idea what this mystery metal is, but it is not picking it up. And it's bunched up. You can't get any more bunched than this. Nothing on whatever this mystery metal is. Let's try the pendant. So the pendant gets picked up. This is about 4 inches. 2. Yep, 6. So 6 is a little weaker. Let's see. 8. Yeah, see, I don't know that I would dig this at 8 inches based on the sounds. Interesting. Very interesting. And again, I don't know what this metal is on the pendant. There's no markings and it's a little tarnished. So my thought is that it's not silver. All right. So let's try. We'll try this chain first. So this is our much thinner chain. This is a 10 karat, 18-inch chain, and it is very, very thin. I mean, like almost, well, not quite microscopic, but it's very thin. So I'm just going to leave it in the bag like this, and we will swing the bag in front of the double score and see if it picks it up like this. So we'll start at 4 inches. So nothing at 4, 2. So 2 inches, it's seeing it a little bit. Right against it, it's picking it up. Now I can't see what the numbers on the screen are. All right, so again, 4 inches, nothing. All right, so let's try bunching it up as much as we can bunch up this tiny little chain. All right, there. So it's bunched up nicely. So now let's try again at 4 inches. Wow. 2. It's a bit stronger at 2 inches. And right on it, pretty solid hit. Okay. Yeah, 4 inches, like nothing. It's, I mean, teeny bits of chatter. Not enough for me to dig it based on the sounds. Again, I can't see the screen. Based on the sounds, I wouldn't dig this. Wow, I mean, again, it is a very thin chain. All right, so let's try our other chain. Let's see. Again, this one does have a pendant on it. This is our 18 karat gold chain with an owl pendant. So again, I'm just going to swing it in front of the coil as is. We'll move this clasp a little farther. All right, we'll swing it in front of the coil as is and see what it picks up. So again, we'll start at 4 inches. Yeah, I figured it would be a pretty solid hit with that pendant. Let's try 2 inches. All right, 6. Still pretty solid. 8. And 10. Yeah, I don't, again, based off of the sounds, I don't know that I would dig this. I mean, yes, it's consistent, but the depth and, I mean, again, I can't see the numbers, but the depth and the sound would be enough to turn me away from digging this. So now let's try it this way. I'm gonna try to hold the owl above the coil and see what the chain by itself reads as. So we'll try it at 4 inches. And I'm trying to hold the owl above the coil so it doesn't see it. Still pretty solid. Let's try 2. Yeah, solid. 6. Yeah, I don't think I would dig this. Very curious, yeah. So that's interesting. So it is picking up this thicker chain. The thinner chain, much harder for it to pick up. All right, guys, so now I want to adjust the settings on the double score so that we can pick up this Rayovac battery. Now I compared the two batteries. I don't necessarily know what kind of metal each are made out of. So now this one does say zinc chloride on it. I don't know if that's what it's made out of or if that's what kind of battery it is. This one says alkaline on it. Again, I don't know if that's what it's made out of or if that's what kind of battery it is, but it doesn't say, neither of them says like I'm made out of XYZ metal. So I don't know, and I don't know enough about batteries to tell you. So looking at the Double Score manual, so each mode has its set of rejected IDs and accepted IDs. So now Park and Field reject IDs between 1 and 12. And then it accepts IDs between 13 and 60. Beach mode rejects IDs between 1 and 10 and accepts 11 through 60. And then the discrimination patterns for all three modes, discrimination patterns, ferrous is off. All right, so you can see the F right here in the screen. Now again, we are still in park mode, but F indicates ferrous off. And it's like that for all three modes. So this is field and beach, F is on all of them. So now I want to try switching over to beach mode and then check my Rayovac battery again and see if it picks it up. So we'll switch over to beach. So now let's go ahead and swing it again and see if it'll pick it up this time. So we'll start at 4 inches. Nope. 2, 6, 8, 10, 12, nothing. So still, even in beach mode, it's not picking it up. So let's try adjusting our discrimination setting. All right, so I want to start off by changing the discrimination pattern. So now the manual has 4 discrimination pattern options. A for all metal. I'm assuming this is a G, or 6 for ground off discrimination. F, which is what it defaults to, ferrous off, and then C is custom. And then it shows you here which numbers are accepted in that particular pattern. So we are currently in F. I want to try going down to A and just see, because again, it's all metal, so in theory, this battery should be picked up. So let's drop it down to A. And to do that, you want to hit this button, which is the pinpoint button and the discrimination button. And it is right here. So I'm going to hit it and you're going to see this F up here change. So now we are in custom and A. So now we are in all metal. So in theory, this battery should ring up on the Double Score. So let's check it. So we're going to start at 4. There it is. 2, 6, 8, 10, 10. I wouldn't dig that. I mean, I probably wouldn't dig it anyways because it's grunting. All right, so we can see the battery now in all metal, which is great. So now I want to switch it over to custom, and I want to see if I can adjust the numbers that it picks up. I was thinking about maybe going to ground off, but I don't know that I want to mess with the numbers necessarily. So I'm going to go to custom, and then we can set our own numbers, hopefully. So let's see, you'll see it switch over. So now it's in G or 6, F, and now we are in custom. Okay, so now we are in C. So now according to the manual, it says this pattern allows users to create their own discrimination pattern according to the type of targets you would like to accept and reject. Rejected IDs will vary based on the search mode. So accepting and rejecting IDs are also referred to as notch, and this function is only available on the Double Score model as opposed to the Score model. All right, so now I want to notch out or notch in the different numbers until I'm able to pick up this battery, because I want to see what it has to be set to in order to see it. So to do that, we need to open up our menu down here. So we're going to hit that, and then we need to scroll over to this little icon here, which is our discrimination icon. So now we are in it, and you will see this little notch guy pop up, and if I hit the plus or minus, it'll move it along. But because my machine is picking up chatter, every time a number displays on the screen, that notch drops down to that number. So you see it jumping around, which is going to make it hard for me to notch in what I want to notch in. So once you get to the number that you want to notch in or out, you hit this button again and you'll see it. So like we'll just go to 20 and hit it. So I hit it and it notched it out. So now I want to put it back in, so I need to go back to 20. And again, it's difficult because it's getting chatter. Ugh, dang. Go back over there and hit it. There we go. All right, so I put it back in. So I want to try and slowly notch in one at a time until it can pick up the battery. All right, so we notched in 10. So let's check it again. Nope. All right, so let's notch in 8. Okay. Nope. So we'll notch in 6. Well, there was a little bit of a grunt. There's very minute grunt. All right, so in theory, if we notch in 4, it should pick it up. Gotta wait for it now to... There, okay, we notched in 4. In theory, it should pick it up. Yep. All the way to about 9. 9 consistently. Again, I wouldn't dig it. All right, so now we know in order to pick up this particular battery, we had to notch it all the way down to 4. 4 is where it's picking up this Rayovac battery. Again, I don't know what's different between this battery and this battery on why it could see this battery without having to adjust any of the settings. But yeah, they're different. If anybody knows what's the difference in these two batteries, let me know in the comments down below. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and unnotch these ones that I just notched, just to put it kind of back to the settings that it was at. I believe it starts at 10. It looks like, oh, I need to take out 1 more, I think. Or 2 more for custom. There. Yeah. All right, so we are back to like factory settings. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back. We'll get out of this menu and we will put that back to F for Ferris off. All right, guys, so that is it for today's video. Hopefully you liked our little metal detecting test. So after my hunt at the tot lot, I think 1 or 2 of y'all had made a comment about I didn't find all of the sharp pokes and whatnot at the tot lot because I wasn't hunting in all metal mode. And you're right, I'm sure I missed a ton of stuff. So I think because of that, I might go back to the same tot lot and hit it again in all metal mode and see what else I'm able to find. Again, it didn't see the battery and that was right on the surface. Now we know I need to drop that notch down to 2 in order to pick up the battery. But yeah, I am curious what I might have missed because I was not hunting in all metal mode. So that was great pointing that out for those of y'all that did point that out. I have been curious on just how small of a target the double score could pick up because it picks up very, very small targets when I'm hunting at the beaches. Like those tiny little, I don't even know, aluminum punch outs that I'm able to find. I don't know what they're from, but I find them all the time, and the double score sees them no problem. So I have been curious on how small of a target it could pick up. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to check these 2 thin chains that I have to see if it could pick them up. Now, granted, they are significantly smaller than the small targets the double score has found on my previous hunts. I am still curious how the double score would do like searching specifically for like gold nuggets. I don't know if I'll ever get to test that out, but I will always wonder about it. Or if one of y'all has the double score and you go searching for gold nuggets, let me know how it does. Like, are you guys able to find gold nuggets with the double score? And if so, what's the smallest nugget you have found with the double score? For today's testing, I did not test any rings. I didn't test any gold, silver, or other kinds of rings because I had previously tested those when I first started using the double score, and I didn't think we needed to like rehash the rings. So that's why I went with items that I've not previously tested with the double score. If you liked today's video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If there are other items you would like me to test with the double score, either to see if it can pick it up, or what we would have to notch the double score down to pick it up, or the depth that it's able to find whatever item you're curious about, let me know in the comments down below. If you're not a subscriber to my YouTube channel yet, please make sure you do so by hitting the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys later.